Hey everybody, it's Mr. Carr again. Today we're going to continue with 4-5, completing the square, but now we're going to be looking at what happens when that a value is not equal to 0. It's going to still be the same process overall, but we have a couple little things to fix for that. So if I look at this as an example, 3x squared minus 2x minus 1 equals 0. To do that by completing the square, first we want to make sure the lead coefficient has to be 1. So that means to help with this specific problem, I can divide every single term by that lead coefficient. And then we just do that same process as before. The only thing that's gonna be a little bit weird is that it'll have a fraction in there, that's all. So for example, here, let's rewrite it here. So 3x squared minus 2x minus 1 equals 0. Start with dividing every single term by 3. So it'll be x squared minus 2/3 x minus 1/3 is equal to 0. Okay, now the same process we did before, we want to add the negative 1/3 over. So I'm going to do that. I'll rewrite it over up on this side here. So it'll be minus 2/3 x plus blank is equal to, it'll be a positive 1/3 plus blank. Okay, so what I did before, I'm going to take 1/2 of the negative 2/3 and then I square that. So that is going to be 1/2 of negative 2/3. That'll actually be a negative 1/3 squared is equal to a positive 1/9. So that's what gets added to both sides. We got 1/9 here and then 1/9 here. So this will factor into x minus 1/3 squared. Remember, the shortcut on this is this value is what goes into the factored form. And that's going to equal to 1/3 plus 1/9 will give me 4/9. Okay, from there, we can do our square root property. So we got square root here, square root here. Remember on the right side, we got to make sure we do the plus or minus square root of that. So I'm going to have x minus 1/3 is equal to plus or minus. Thankfully, this is actually two perfect squares. Square root of 4 is going to give me 2. Square root of 9 is going to give me 3. So then I'm going to have two answers here. I'm going to have 1/3 plus or minus 2/3. Okay, so x is equal to 1/3 plus 2/3. That's going to be 3/3, which is equal to 1. On the other side, I'm going to have 1/3 minus 2/3. So that gives me a negative 1/3. Okay, and that's it. So we can still get our rational solutions here from completing the square like this. Okay, and that's it. Okay, that's actually the only example today. So again, quick recap. First thing you want to do is once you have it equal to 0, you divide by the lead coefficient. That way this is equal to 1. From there, we do the same exact process. So we took this and added it over. So that was the 1/3 there. We do the same thing with the the linear term, the negative 2/3. We take 1/2 times that and then square it. So that's how I got my 1/9, which goes to both sides. And from there, we just do the normal process. We just have to deal with fractions. So not the prettiest thing, but very doable. All right, that's it for 4-5 day 2. Take care, everybody.